Welcome back to LUTE Labs. In the previous video, we discussed how to toggle the XR system within LUTE, how to place an object in that XR environment, and how to interact with it using the editor, and the key differences between the editor system and the mobile system when testing the XR interactions. Within these videos, we'll go deeper into how to interact with those objects further. We'll look at using the drag interaction puzzle, and then we'll look at how this changes between touching and clicking on the device, between phone and editor. We'll discuss the other interactions you can use, which are mostly ludic in the XR system as well. For now, let's jump into the editor to discuss it further. Okay, welcome back to the editor. We're still in the same scene as before, but we're working with a new node here called AR Puzzle. This node is again included within the sample scene, and you can check it out straight away just by opening the scene and executing this node during runtime. So let's take a look at the orders on the list of our node. You should recognize most of them. You've got the fade sprite, toggle XR, plays object on plane, and some dialogue in between. These things should be obvious because we've discussed them in the previous video. So at this point, what's going to happen is our XR system will turn on, an object will be placed on the plane, and then some dialogue will be shown in between. However, there is a new order here called XR drag interaction. Essentially what XR drag interaction is a very simple drag and drop puzzle. What it does is find an object in the scene using the name lookup. So it's going to find our cylinder object by looking up through the hierarchy here, finding an object called cylinder, creating that object a small distance away from our original AR object, and giving it a different material. In this case, we're giving it a transparent material because we find when testing it, players responded most positively to objects which are slightly transparent, and it became obvious what they must do. What then happens is the players must drag the existing object into the area of our newly created transparent object to complete the puzzle. The drag offset here essentially allows the players to have an offset for the drag, so it doesn't have to be exactly on top of the object, it can slightly be offset in order to complete the puzzle. There are other interactions and kind of ludic aspects to the XR system, which you can just simply play around with and find using the search order list, by using the order search list here and typing in XR, and you can see there's a couple of things like track image, interact with XR object, and even change XR object can be used to create intricate and fun ludic systems using the AR or XR systems within LUTE. But for now, let's take a look at this XR drag interaction in runtime. So you can think about these as an example. Maybe the player must drag a key into a lock or drag an item into a relevant group for them to complete the puzzle. For now, we're giving a very basic idea of what this actually looks like. So to begin with, we've toggled our XR, we've shown some dialogue, and then we've placed the object on the plane. So if we look around, there's our object, some dialogue appears, and we're going to try out our drag puzzle interaction. So the kind of transparent object, copy object has been created. You can see that in our hierarchy, and we can drag our existing object into the area of this object to complete the puzzle. Obviously, this doesn't look very aesthetic in the editor, but if you think about this when testing on the mobile device, you'll be seeing this through the camera with the real world as a backdrop instead of this XR simulated environment here. We always recommend when using the XR system to play it in editor to make sure it works, to make sure all the orders flow correctly, and then try it on the mobile device, because there are definitely some minor discrepancies between the XR simulated environment in the editor and what is seen on the phone. So thanks for watching with LUTE Labs. I hope you learned something about the LUTE interaction system using the XR drag and drop puzzle. In the next video, we'll discuss putting this all together and how to spawn and create these interactions at real locations using the LUTE variable system. See you there.